We are ready. It's been a long time coming.
Has been.
Been a busy week this week.
And
right?
There was a week that I was not available.
And why were you not available?
Because I was exposed to COVID.
You were exposed to COVID.
I was.
Thankfully, you didn't get it. You were safe and did the right things, but we had somebody close to you that you hang out with occasionally, whose family got the virus, and so we had to separate for a little bit.
Yep.
Including me from you.
Yeah, I couldn't even go by the fam.
Couldn't even go by me for, what was it, 5 days? 8 days? Something like that. I don't know, a long time.
Like 8
it's
days,
really kind of weird
Mm-hmm.
to not see each other. Like, bring you supper down to your room, eat your supper. Is it kind of fun?
It was fun for a couple days because it was like, ooh, no one's going to bother me. I'm going to have some alone time. But then I kind of got bored.
Yeah, it doesn't. I think it's kind of like any time when you get sick or you don't have work or school gets called off or something like that, is that at first you're like, oh yeah, this is going to be so nice. And that lasts for about 36 hours.
Yep.
And then after 36 hours, you go, well, I kind of would like to do this or I'd like to do that. I wish, especially when you're sick.
Yeah. And
Or sometimes you're like, I wish I could just get sick so I can't go to school. Or I wish I could just be sick so I could skip
I used to
out on
always
this thing.
think that, like, if one of my friends got sick, I was like, oh, I
So
hope I get it
jealous.
from you. But then now I'm like scared.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I guess.
I don't want to get sick. I haven't been sick in a long time. We were just talking about that yesterday. Is we haven't gotten.
This is a knock on wood. Do you know what that means? Knock
Yeah.
on wood? Okay.
But we don't jinx it.
Right on.
Eh.
All right, so what happened this week?
We had some people over. And.
We did not. We had.
Yeah, we did.
We had
to
people sit
celebrate.
Oh, okay. We had people sitting outside on
Still had
lawn
people
chairs.
over
We
to our backyard.
did. We had some people come over to our backyard. That was fun. That was really nice. I don't know. Didn't really do much else. But what happened this week?
The presidential
Oh, that's right. There was an election.
election.
There was an election this week. You're kind of sing-songy over there. Are you happy with what occurred in the election?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So how come? How come you are?
Because Biden won.
So why does that make you happy?
Because I think that he's going to help our country.
Okay.
You
All right. Well, there's
you really want me to expand? And talk
I
about
do
it?
a little bit. It's the whole idea behind the podcast. We do have a question about it in the mailbag. So maybe you could
what I
wait
was
till the
thinking.
mailbag.
Yeah.
And you could expound on it then.
I just like that.
But okay, go ahead.
Loves and accepts everyone, and is very kind.
He
And
did. Did you listen to the speeches from last night?
I'm going to tonight because Mom would really like me to.
Yes. So he did make special mention of a number of different people that have never really had that sort of support before. And so that was really nice. That was really great. Yeah.
And I think Kamala Harris is that's cool that she's the first woman and that for
Woman, daughter of an immigrant.
I think that's
She's
amazing.
black. She's
I
right. All of
love
these
her.
things that I don't know. A commentator made the comment that when they had president-elect and vice president-elect and all of their family up on the stage after they had accepted or had announced the vote, that there were little kids that were like 4 years old, and there were old people that were in their 80s and 90s, and every color of the rainbow represented up there as far as race, religion, and background. And it was just so nice. It's like, oh yeah, and they said, well, that's what America looks like.
Wonderful.
So that was really nice. That was cool. Yeah. What do you got going on this week? It's so super nice out. It's been 70 degrees in November in Wisconsin. So what did we do today?
Today we put up Christmas lights
Put
on
up
the
the
roof.
Christmas lights. Got that big check mark off the list. It is not allowed to turn them on We're not turning on our Christmas lights, loyal listeners, loyal viewers. They're not being turned on. We just took advantage of a nice day to do an outside chore, and you can see the disappointment in why I'm saying it loud and in front of everybody.
I've been listening to Christmas music already.
I know it.
I love it. I think
Okay,
once
cool.
Halloween's over, I'm in the Christmas spirit already.
And I'm happy that you are. I'm happy that you are. That's not me. That's not, nope. Especially the music thing. The music thing. I'm just not a big fan.
I love Christmas music.
I like some Christmas music, but I listen to about an hour of it, and I'm good for a month.
So lame.
And then we can listen to it for an hour again on December 23rd, and then a half hour on the 24th, and then as much as you want on the 25th, all day.
It gets me in the Christmas spirit. It makes me so happy.
Yeah. I have so much to do before that day comes. I'm not looking toward December 25th yet.
Whatever.
Well, not whatever. I'm just explaining to you why I'm not into the Christmas thing yet. Like, no decorations are coming out of the storage room.
I'm going to decorate my room.
Well, that's fine. You can do whatever you want. You can keep them up all year in your room. Oh, I just gave her a terrible idea.
That just kind of ruins the Christmas.
It does. It overdoes it. But that's what I think about I like Christmas an awful lot. But not ready for it for 2 months. Yeah. Okay. No, not for 2 months. 2.5 weeks. Oh. 2.5 weeks is a good amount of time to prepare.
Like the day after Thanksgiving is the day where we do everything.
Pearl Harbor Day passes December 8th. We can go.
What?
December 8th. We can start in on the Christmas.
No, because we get our Christmas tree every year the day after Thanksgiving.
Somebody didn't want to be seen in the podcast.
I'm trying to be sneaky for you guys.
Nice job.
I didn't know you could see me.
You were very stealthy.
I know.
That was awesome. Interrupting. I don't know. All right, so we got Christmas decorations. We got to get through a wedding first. We got to get through a wedding. We got to make sure everybody's healthy before the wedding, right? We already are. We don't have to name names, certainly, but we already are having, it's far enough away that it's not a big deal, but like, I don't know, like Mom and I have been saying is that it just keeps coming in closer.
Yeah, lacrosse is not
We
doing
had
well.
230 cases yesterday.
That's
in one
insane.
day. 230 cases. They ran out of tests at the hospital. They are out of beds. They're out of beds. In the last 30 days, we've had 24 people die. Just of that, right? And regular people just dying of other stuff too.
Yeah.
So it's not like we only had 24 deaths, but 24 deaths in 1 month. So it's creeping closer and closer, so we're going to do our best. Our family's shutting it down.
Yep.
Shutting it down. Our this weekend when we had some outdoor get-togethers and some friends, that's it for us until the wedding. Until the wedding, and then we will be safe and good and have a good time with just a super small gather. Super small. Well, not super small. 30. Mm-hmm. But 30 people wearing masks and doing it the right way. So this can be fun. I can't wait.
I'm excited.
Smith Puffer Gala event. What are you most looking forward to at the wedding?
Seeing everyone.
That's
of
me
course.
too. Yeah, me too. Angela especially, I think, for me.
I'm
Haven't
excited
seen
to see her.
Angela in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to be a bride, and it's always so fun to see the bride. It's just going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
I'm really excited.
Yep, and we get to see my mom, dad, grandma, and grandpa's house. They moved houses, and we haven't been up. We can't go up there. Not going back and forth on that kind of thing, but we'll be able to do that a little bit. So, yeah, it's really going to be great.
Yes.
Even though it'll be short, it's going to feel like, oh, that was so awesome. Why can't we? Why couldn't we? I don't know. Because You know why. Because. You ready for a little mailbag? You watching anything? You playing anything?
Well, I just watched a couple movies this weekend, actually.
Okay, what are you hitting with?
I watched Clouds, the movie on Disney Plus, and
Clouds. What's Clouds?
it's this.
You sounded like, well, everybody watch Clouds. Everybody watches Clouds.
Well, I feel like people would probably notice, but It's this movie that's just apparently supposed to be really sad, and it's on Disney Plus. And
Oh, was it
my
sad?
friends watched it, and it was. I cried a little bit. But yeah, it was a really cute movie. And then I also watched I can't think of it.
Okay.
But it was just a movie on Netflix about it was also a really sad movie.
How it reminds me, how was Hubie Halloween? Remember you were going to watch Hubie Halloween?
I think we talked about that already.
I
But
don't
it
think
wasn't that good.
Maybe. That it wasn't that good. It was kind of funny. It wasn't spooky.
It was a little funny,
But
but
then
it wasn't as enjoyable as I really thought it would. Like, I looked at all the actors, like, oh, this is gonna be a great
That was
movie,
the
but
Yeah. And then I watched The
That's fine.
Conjuring. I like scary movies a lot, and I'd never seen The Conjuring. So I watched The Conjuring. It wasn't that good.
yeah,
It was okay. It was fine. It was a little creepy in spots, and I don't know. It really just feels like The Conjuring is one of a list of 7 or 8 scary movies that all have the same kind of haunted house that then possesses somebody or whatever thing on there. Oh, what?
it was called All the Bright Places, the movie that I watched last
All
night.
the Bright Places. Okay.
Just
All right, I'll avoid it. I'll avoid it. I
All the
watched
Bright Places. That was a really good movie. I thought it was really sad at the end, but it
Oh, okay.
was enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yep.
I watched a movie. The most recent one I watched is a movie called Take Shelter, and it's a low-budget movie from like 7 or 8 years ago, and it's about mental illness, and it's about this guy who starts having bad dreams and visions, and then he thinks he's going to be schizophrenic because his mom was paranoid schizophrenic and was diagnosed at just about the same age as him, and what a powerful movie. It was just so good. But warning to the listeners, it's not for everybody. The movie's like 2 hours long, and it's what you would call like a slow burn, right? It is a mood-setting type of movie where it moves super slow. It moves super slow and kind of builds real slowly, but man, what a just great acting. And the guy Curtis in the movie, the one who thinks he's having visions and having problems and might be having a psychotic break and all these different things, the way he handles it is just exactly how I would think I would handle if I started having visions and hallucinations. Is I think that that's what I would do, because at first he just kind of denies it, like, just a bad dream, just that, just the other thing, I'm just not feeling well. And then he kind of lies to people, and then he does a bunch of research on the internet to try and find out everything he can, secretly sees a psychiatrist, he doesn't tell anybody. It's like, poor, I felt so bad for Curtis. Yeah. All right, mailbag. Ready?
Yep.
Oh, so this is from 3 different people. Questions from 3 different people, and I'm not positive who said which one, but it's Alexis's best friends, Lizzie and Emma. So we got to see Lizzie and Emma, and I had Lizzie and Emma write questions down for us. So go Lizzie, go Emma. We've had questions from Claire before.
Yeah.
Claire is Emma's sister. Right on. All right, if you were a soup, what soup would you be?
I would definitely be I feel like either tomato soup or chicken noodle.
Okay, how come? I would not expect tomato soup.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think you're the opposite of tomato soup.
Really?
Mhm.
Why?
Tomato soup is the most basic of soups that ever souped a soup. There's nothing to it. It's just tomato paste and, I don't know, milk if you make it with milk or water if you make it. It's just, there's nothing to it. And I think there's a lot to you.
So chicken noodle.
Well, chicken noodle would be better, yes. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Adaptable,
I think
right?
I'd be
You can.
I think I'd be the chicken noodle soup from Panera.
Oh, okay. Why? What does the chicken noodle soup from Panera have in
Because
it?
that one's just the best one, and I'm just
Okay,
the best.
you are the best one. Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair. I think I would be something like a beer cheese soup. Right? Because it's adaptable. That's what I think. I had a trivia question the other night that was something about a characteristic that you have, and adaptability was something that was brought up. And so I think beer cheese soup is great because beer is like fun and gives it like a different flavor, and right, and then the cheese and the base of it and the garnish and the potatoes that is in it and the little things that are sprinkled in are all the other things that I like to do and like to be. So cheese might be the family Terry, the beer might be the friend Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd like a beer cheese. Plus, I just love beer cheese soup. Love it, love it. This one's going to be easy. I think we've kind of had it. What is your favorite holiday and one memory you have from that holiday?
Okay, yeah, I think we've had this one before, and I
think
said
so.
Christmas.
I don't remember what I said because I don't know
I think
if
you said Halloween.
Halloween, it is. Then, did we tell a story?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, my story would be, because we talked about it just the other day, was when I was, I must have been like 14, 14 or 15, like, so your age. It snowed on Halloween. And when I say snow, I mean, people still remember it was the great Halloween snowstorm of like 1990 or 1989 or 1991 or whatever, somewhere right in there. And we had a foot of big, thick, wet, heavy snow. And what we did is we went out, because I was a little over trick-or-treating, but we still went out, right? Out and around. And my friend Jared and I, Jared had turned 15 already, and so he had a moped. Because at 15, you could have a moped license, 16 for a car. And so I rode, and picture two teenage boys, right, riding around on a moped through this much snow.
Oh, goodness.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun. And then, and so we're like, plowing through the big snow drifts and going on. And we lived next to a huge hill, right? Like imagine our driveway, but it's like 3 blocks long. It's just a really big, really long hill. You remember by Grandma and Grandpa's in New Ulm?
Oh, that hill?
The big, big hill.
Yeah.
Payne Street Hill. And so we went down Payne Street Hill with essentially skiing on this thing because I was just not touching the road.
Yeah.
And the tires were packing the snow down and driving on the tires. And so it was really quite the adventure. It was super fun. So Christmas memory for you.
I remember Christmas from 2 years ago, and I just remember it being really enjoyable because, well, obviously the basic is when you wake up and you get to open all the presents.
Oh, so here
But
at
then I
our
remember-
house.
Yeah, we've
Okay.
never gone anywhere else for Christmas.
Well, usually before or after, right?
Oh, yeah,
2
yeah.
weeks before or
But,
around New Year's or whatever. Yeah.
Then I just remember that day being really fun because we had like a neighborhood Christmas party, and I just got to spend a lot of time with everyone, and it was fun because we ate like Christmas cake, like a happy birthday Jesus.
Birthday cake with Kathy, Rodney, and Cole, and go sledding at their house whenever there's snow.
Yeah,
Or
and I
they
just
come hang
remember it
out
being
here
really
if there's
fun.
not snow.
There was a lot of Christmas spirit that day.
There was a lot of Christmas spirit. There always is.
Yeah.
All right, we are Christmassy. This might be the very Christmas podcast, right? All right. Next question: where do you want to travel? Where do you want to travel? Sort of think we
I've said
kind of
this.
had this one too,
I've said this,
but maybe it's changed.
Well, I just saw this video the other day of Bora Bora, and it was so
Sure.
pretty.
You want to go someplace tropical.
Very tropical, like
Very
something like Costa Rica, because I was just.
I would go back to Costa Rica today.
You do.
Today. Same spot. I would go to, normally I don't like doing that. Going back to the same spot, right? I always like something new. That's my favorite thing about travel is new. But I think I would go to the same spot.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. But I want to go to Japan, but I think I've talked about going to Japan
Yeah.
before. I think I want to travel sometime soon-ish to some states that we haven't ever hit before and that I've never been to before. I think Kentucky, Tennessee, that area of the country. Go visit my friend Evan, who's given us questions before and recently moved to Kentucky, and just kind of bounce around and do all of the hiking and all of the different things that are, could do the Bourbon Trail and those kind of things. So
Yeah.
far away, I would like to go to someplace like, I would love to. Oh man, I talked to Kitty and Mike the other day, and their son lives in Korea. And man, what I love. Remember Mike and I were going to do that trip?
Yeah.
I have my suitcase packed and I'm sitting on the driveway with my suitcase packed, waiting for him to come pick me up. I'm like, yep, he should be here in about a half hour. I gave everybody hugs. I kissed everybody, said, well, see you in, what was it, like 11 days or something?
Yeah.
I was going to go to Korea. I literally have my bags packed, sitting in the driveway, and then it got canceled.
You know what I was thinking?
I want to, it's going to be a while, but I would like to put that trip back together. What were you thinking about?
I was thinking about when we went to, was it called Mackinac Island?
Yeah,
And
it was.
When there was like no cars there and we got a bike around. That was so cool.
That was so cool.
I loved that.
That was. So we went on a camping trip to Michigan. We're going to go all the way around Michigan. Do you remember why it was cut so short? It was super fun. We were having such a great time.
We were having a great time, but
It really
then Mom's grandpa died, so we had to
Great
go home
grandpa
for the funeral.
Sylvester died. Yeah, and so it was fine. I mean, turning around and canceling our trip was no big deal for something like that because he was such a special person, and that was perfectly fine. But it was one of those things like, wow, we got to go back. We never really got to do the whole thing. We had to
But I
cut it
just
short.
remember doing that, and it was really
Yeah,
fun.
I would go do that again too. Just rent the bikes and
Me too.
start going around. That was awesome. All right. It says, what got canceled because of COVID that made you the most disappointed?
We didn't really have anything planned.
Well, I guess. But I'm thinking like, I didn't go to a single concert. There wasn't an Oktoberfest. Is Oktoberfest being canceled disappointing? Because it's not to me.
No.
I was
not
perfectly fine with that.
I think,
Graduation.
yeah.
I'm a little bit disappointed that college graduation got canceled because we knew a few people graduating really well because they traveled with us to South Africa, and it would have been so nice, like Tanner, and all, but so we didn't get to celebrate with them.
I also think Halloween because
It was fun-ish. It was fun-ish.
Well, for me, I was just with one of the neighbors the whole time, and yeah, it was fun, but it just kind of seemed like we were hanging out. It didn't really feel like Halloween.
Yep.
And I kind of like missed like going out with a ton of friends and like
Halloween
spending
parties are
a long
fun.
time trick or treating, and then
Yeah, I've talked about it before, about me being disappointed that I can't get together with my friends Chad and Brent and Brian. And, we were thinking about it this weekend. Would have been because it was so warm. It would have been so nice to go down to Iowa City and to hang out, and the election announcement would have happened, and the game would have happened, and the weather would have been great, and all of it would have just been such a fun time. But it got canceled. I don't know. All right. The question is, and now I know who did which, the last two questions, because it says, can you get Alexis Snyder's today? Do you know what Snyder's are?
Yeah, we actually went to Walmart today and we were going to get her some. We forgot.
You forgot?
Yeah.
I even did the double reminder, the second reminder for you guys to pick those up today, and you still forgot. You got a lot of stuff, so I don't blame you. I forget stuff when I go to the store.
We got her everything else she asked for.
So that's not a big deal. But I needed a second. What?
You're shaking the camera.
Oh, sorry. I needed Snyder's pretzels because I stole a bag of Snyder's pretzels that didn't belong to me.
I'm sorry.
The other night I came. Everybody was in bed. I was the last one awake, and I was looking for something to eat. And I came across this bag of They were about Snyder's pretzels were a big bag. You wouldn't eat a whole bag in one sitting, but you'd eat half a bag, and I did. They were Isaac's. I knew it. And the next morning, I told him right away, I ate all your Snyder's. I'll buy you more. And I thought, well, Mom's going to the store. No problem. I don't have it. So now I still owe Isaac.
Isaac doesn't
Snyder's
even care
pretzels.
that much.
I know he doesn't, but still, I feel bad. He was given those as a gift, and then I ate them.
Yep.
They were good. All right, so here it is. Last question then. And here's it says, how will our lives be most impacted by our new president? So,
all right.
So this is where you get to say, okay, I think.
Okay. I think.
So far, so good. It's exactly what I thought you would say.
Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome.
I just think that, like I said before, that he loves and accepts everyone, and it doesn't matter who you are, where you came from, what your religion is, anything. It's no big deal. Like, I think that's great, and I also think that I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, when I was 13, I certainly couldn't have given you a list of policies that a president might enact that would make it better or not. So I don't expect you to break into that.
I know a ton about like both president, or they're not both the president, but like Trump and Biden. I know lots about them, and like I could talk about them a lot, but I don't know. That's just mainly the big one that would impact.
Yeah, so that is one of the things that you are passionate about. Is the idea of the way a person is born, or the way that they look, or the way that they are, doesn't reduce them as a human being. It makes them a human being first still, and then that raises up their dignity, and they should be treated that way. And I have seen you confront and challenge and ask good questions to all kinds of people about that particular subject. So I know it's not just something that you kind of shrug off, it's that you really feel that way. So that's cool. And I hope he does impact that in the right way. I think the way I am most thinking that a change in presidency will impact us is not necessarily from policies or laws or regulations, but from demeanor. For the last 4 years, the current president, President Trump, has chosen a demeanor of hostility. Whenever he has a press conference, whenever he has a tweet, whenever he has a statement, the statement almost invariably includes an insult, a name calling, a snide or digging nickname of somebody, right? It's just always this idea of I'm going to attack somebody, I'm going to be mean to somebody. And that's sort of appealing to people, right? Because if being mean didn't feel good, right, nobody would be mean. But being mean, right, like at first kind of feels good. Like, right, I'm better. I can call, if I'm mean to them. And so when he's mean to people that other people don't agree with, he kind of connects with those people, right? Because like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Somebody who attacks somebody I don't like, I kind of enjoy that. And I think we've had an awful lot of that for 4 years, and it's tiring. It's tiring to consistently hear people put down by somebody in a leadership position. Right? And so it's not, I mean, there are also policies and laws.
Go ahead. You do. Blamed China for the coronavirus. It's not like they could have like known that this was going to become a worldwide pandemic. It's not exactly their fault. I think maybe that there could have been a little bit more done, but I don't think that they're a bad country for that.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
That's perfectly fine. I don't want to.
Because I know
that's
that
perfectly
he was
fine.
calling it like the China virus, and I think that's really not okay.
Yeah, sure. Well, shifting the idea of, I mean, when it's a global pandemic, it's because there's global responsibility in order to, and certain countries handle it better, certain countries handle it worse, and I would say it is inarguable that we didn't do very well and still aren't doing very well. Not only from a leadership standpoint, but from the bottom up too, right? We are both ways having troubles coming to grips with all the changes that, oh no.
I'm sorry.
It's time to wrap it up.
No.
Well, that was the last question. That was, how are we going to be impacted by that? And I think we're going to be impacted by having somebody in the leadership position of this country that will be dignified, right? I think that's just the word, dignified. That it's part of being a leader is setting a good example. And whether you agree with the policies or not, the idea that when a leader does things one way, that other people see that as the way that they should conduct themselves has a big impact. And so I'm excited for that to change. That'll be nice. So there you go. All right, what we got coming up this week?
Not much.
I don't know. Not much, right?
Oh, another announcement. I'm getting braces on December 7th.
Oh, yeah. Well, 1 month countdown. Less than a month. Evelyn's going to have braces. We'll have the big reveal on the podcast. She won't say, no social media pictures, no press releases. You're not allowed to go on television. The podcast people are going to be the first people that are going to see the new look Evelyn. And I think right? We should have got your braces 8 months ago when the pandemic was here because nobody ever gets to see you. They could do that. Okay. Right on. I'm T.
And I'm E.
All right. Thanks, everybody.